Hello everyone, before we get into this video, I just wanted to say thank you for subscribing. And other than that, we have a tournament coming up August 13, 2022. And that tournament will have a $100 prize pool for the winner of the tournament. I don't expect it to be that big of a tournament. The entry fee is going to be subscribing to my Twitch. So $5 or a Prime sub. And a follow on Twitch, and you have to join the Discord because that's kind of where a lot of the information is going to be relayed. We're going to have it a little more detailed, a lot more detailed, the closer we get to the event, just so you guys have no specifics. But most likely this event would be hosted around 11 Eastern time or 12 Eastern time. And I'm talking about 11 in the morning, 12 like the noon pretty much. Just so you guys know, and I would love if you guys showed up. So just remember, follow me on Twitch, subscribe on Twitch, and join the Discord, and you got yourself a ticket to join the tournament. And the tournament will be streamed live on Twitch, and that should be pretty fun. Now, regardless of the turnout, I'm not expecting too big of a turnout, like I said. So hope you guys have a good one, and let's get into this deck profile. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about gears. What grinds my gears? This game, pretty much. But no, let's seriously talk about it. When I was a kid, I remember opening up an Ancient Gear structure deck, and I was like, damn, this deck is so cool. And then I got to the point where I had... in that deck, I'm pretty sure they had green, red, and yellow Gadget. And that's the point where I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Why is this in the deck? Crowler never used this. And if he did, it would explain why he kept losing. But today we're going to hear and try and make it work. So, this deck is a wacky one. What's the glaring issue you see with this deck? Besides it playing gadgets. The glaring problem is it's very reliant on our starters. So if these 7 starters get interrupted, you are screwed. And I mean screwed. I mean, like, you pretty much do nothing for the rest of the turn. So you better hope your opponent has nothing too, or yeah, you just lose the game. You just go into the next one, I guess. But I will say the deck can make these insane end boards that are crazy. You're gonna see, and it's actually a really fun deck when you actually get to do what you want to do. But we're gonna have a recap at the end of the video. We'll talk about win rate and all that other stuff. Just in hindsight, like before I even played the deck, because I didn't make this deck. This deck, I came across it. I actually came across it on Master Duel Meta. You're going to see right there the person who submitted it. And they said they got Diamond 1 with it. You can tell me if that was a fact or a cap. Because it feels like you're going to see the games. But the deck, I will say, is fun. But over glaring problem. Everyone's playing 30 hand traps, and this deck gets absolutely butt-fucked by hand traps. So, yep. Well, that's that. So, let's get into the games, and let's check out how the deck did. Hello, everybody. So, as you've seen, our opening hand's actually pretty nice. So, this is kind of like an ideal opening hand. You have your starter, Silver Gadget. You have one of the other gadgets. And now you can start churning out cards. So, for this combo, the first card you want to go into is Gear Gigant X. This will get you your guitar, and with this hand, Trencher is the best card to discard, and we special summon Symphonetic Warrior. So with this card, gives us another normal summon, and it can't be impermed. So if they try to imperm the effect, they can't do it. It just activates immediately as it hits the field. And then we go into Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget, we use the ability special summon Yellow Gadget. That gets us our green. We use that second normal summon to summon green. And then we're going to go into Magic Key. Yes, Magic Key. Because we're going to get the one normal monster in the deck, which is Metalfoes Gold Driver. Very important, because this card's going to pop the Gadget, right? And then we're going to be able to use that effect to special summon Gold, and then we could go into Red. Now the combo's almost done. You got to go into Vest Nato because we need a Machine Earth Monster. right? And then we go into X and we grab our Cyberstein here. Then we are going to go into Ancient Gear Ballista. Ancient Gear Ballista will search us Ancient Gear box, and that lets us get our Anchor Drill. Now we special summon everything. And we get our green. Now look at this. Anchor Drill is going to go into True King of All Calamity. Cyberstein will summon Notoria B Extra. So this card covers pretty much all spells and traps. This will cover monsters, but we're not done. We actually activate True King because we needed to put Anchor Drill in the graveyard, right? Because Anchor Drill lets us go into Gaga Magician, and Gaga lets us go into our Utopic Draco. As you see, we use pretty much every card in the extra deck. There's not much wiggle room with this extra deck. The only thing I would say is Dagostu could be replaced, but this card helps us recycle some cards. So he's going to try and imperm us, but we have Exterio, so it's going to be GG for 0, unless he had Kaijus. If he had a Sphere mode, he can still win the game. But he doesn't look like it. So he plays Pot of D. He doesn't understand that Neteria is not a once per turn effect, as he's going to learn. Spell or Trap, we can banish it all. We can get rid of all the cards. Just got to banish one card in the graveyard. Then I'm just negating it just for the hell of it. We end up finding out this guy is a filthy Sword Soul player, so I don't feel too bad for this all happening. But it just goes to show you that these little fucking green guys, dude. That's big dick energy right there. You can't mess with them. And 0 is gone. GG. Welcome to game 2. Our hand is absolutely atrocious. But we're gonna have to make it work somehow. So we're going to play the Symphonic Warrior. We discard the mic because it's useless. Our opponent messes up because he imperms this. Like I said before, the mic cannot be impermed. It's one of the effects that just automatically happens when it hits the field. There's no chain that starts. We're going to call by the grave the Ash because... Oh, and then we get... well, that kind of sucks. That sucks a fat one, I would say. Because it's actually really annoying when they interrupt our gadgets because we need the gadgets to really do anything. So we go into Gear Gigant. That's going to get us a green gadget. And we're going to have to go into Platinum because remember we have that extra normal summon. So we'll still be able to combo off now. I just wanted to show this. Just to show that if they do something, it's not the end of the world as long as the imperm is the end of the world. Like if they imperm your normal summon and you have no follow-up, you're just the game's over. If I couldn't go into Gear Max there, Gear Gigant, whatever, it just the match is over. Like the match is not over, but like I can't continue the turn is what I'm getting at. Just to give you an idea. It's still played through it though. Gotta say, we played through an imperm, played through an Ash, and a cross out. Not that bad. And we were about to full combo him too. Alrighty, so this is when I was testing out Dark Ruler No More. And I'm gonna say right now, it feels like putting in 2 or 3 Dark Ruler No Mores isn't the worst thing. Because you can always discard it. But I barely played with it. I only played it like a few matches because I'm not even lying. Dude, going second with this deck feels fucking atrocious. You like do nothing. You just lose. Because your opponent, like all it takes is a breeze to break down your combo. So your opponent will just stop that immediately. So my opponent maxes here and... yeah, I just pretty much have to hope that my opponent has nothing else. So I just pass. Sorry for the yawn. It is 1 o'clock in the morning as I'm recording this certain part of the video. So they're playing Phantom Knights. So whatever happens to them, I really don't feel too bad. But this Dark Ruler obviously is going to be absolutely filthy against him. He's doing all the standard I'm a virgin adventure combo stuff. And he places the Wandering Griffin in defense. I feel like that is a misplay. Oh wait, no, he's going DPE. That's what he's doing. So it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna take a fat 5K to the face. Kind of feels nice to say fat 5K. Gosh, you already know that. I feel like the people who use the Thunder Dragon Colossal like emblem in the corner here, I feel like they're the most toxic people inside this game. You have to rep the beginning thing to really be an actual Chad. So we're getting Fog Blade, but we already knew that was gonna happen. The good thing is we have a Gadget in hand. So we're going to be able to summon this, and we can go into Platinum Gadget. And we get Impermed again. So that's not good. But we actually are, like, this is normally a bad card to have in your opening hand, but it's actually really good for us to have this in our opening hand. Because now we actually can combo off a bit because of this. Because, see, we're able to go into these two cards. And now we're going to be able to special summon Silver Gadget, which lets us summon another Gadget. So here we go. Ballista is going to get us 2 more cards. This is pretty much getting us follow-up, because we're not really going to be able to play these cards. I'm also using this so I can... I was going to go into access code to just wipe out these 2 cards here, and I was returning back the DPE back to the deck. So that's what I was doing. It's pretty much just slamming it into my my enemy's cornhole. But yeah, that was a good showcase of like playing through things, but like we would not have done that without the Dark Ruler no more, is what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like you have to run it. You can't run Droplet because this deck is so draw sensitive. Like, you end up running out of resources, which is why the gadgets are there, because you just keep recycling level 4s. And you you can't really afford to discard more than that 1 card to the guitar. So I feel like Droplet would be really hard to like put in the deck, I think. But the idea is maybe we put 3 Dark Rulers. I swear to God, I don't know. Like, when I seen the person who made this deck, they said they hit Diamond 1, and I'm like, dude, everyone in Diamond are so sweaty. They're all playing like 30 hand traps. I don't understand how you played through them. You know what I mean? But we'll go to the next game. Let's see what's going on. All right, we're here for the next game. But well, like I said, all the opponents are sweaty. What I really mean when I say that is they're all sweaty. So we play Small World. We get the Infinity Drill. And we get Max Seed. So I have 2 options here. First option is just play through Max C. Second option is just summon Yellow Gadget and just beat his ass in with Gadgets. How about that? That was the option I chose. Dude, Yellow Gadget looks like he would be wearing black Air Forces. Like, you not fuck with this guy. You'd beat your ass. Alright, so we go into Gear Gigant. Let's see if we get negated. And we get Fog Blade. So we're playing against Phantom Knights. This guy probably smells pretty bad, I would assume. He definitely looks like a 10-day shower. Like, 10-day no shower. We drew the Ash Blossom, so that should have this guy fucking screaming at his screen right now. He's probably doing some Rees like Ree! Ree! I'm not good at doing the Ree. But we end up going into Platinum Gadget as planned. That lets us special summon green. Then we can normal summon the red. And my opponent, honestly, should... I personally think... like, okay, here, he goes for a second Fog Blade. And here is crazy to me, because if he actually was just Fog Blading my Gadgets, I wouldn't even be able to do anything. But people don't really know, like, how the deck works. And I don't blame them, because this deck sucks ass. But... so we go Silver Gadget. We can combo again. Just keep comboing. Alright, there's Ballista. Guess what? We can't go into Cyberstein, but we can still beat your ass. Look at that. You're still dead. I can go into Access Code Talker. You're dead. GG. Get more Fog Blades. You need like 5 more of them. Oh man, this hand is horrendous. So we just set a Called by the Grave and pass. This hand is bad. I found myself getting a lot of hands like this, which is really annoying because all I needed was another level 4 and this hand would have been awesome. And then our opponent set 4 and then the last card in his hand, I'm just going to spoiler alert, it's his Inspector Border. So we're kind of screwed. Our hope is actually we need an Imperm, which we draw. But we're also going to need a level 4. So, because we're going to need a combo off. And we know he has a Solemn Strike, so we're going to need, like, follow-up, too. Which is kind of tough. I thought it was strange that he grabbed Armory Call over the Solemn Judgment. But, I mean, his choice. Kind of weird, honestly. But we draw the Gadget, so we activate Imperm. We get Solemn Judgmented on the Imperm. So I'm like, my goodness. That's pretty vicious. These 2 Called by the Graves, absolute dead cards too. And then we get Solemn Judgmented on the second Gadget. And then we activate this. We discard the Called. Special summon this. Then we normal summon our green Gadget. And then Solemn Strike. So we got Solemn Judgment, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike. And the real kicker here is I can't attack into this because you can just add Moon, play Moon, and then see how he gets a Moon Mirror. And he just could... I would die to the Moon Mirror because it lets him equipped. But he top decks Grand Maju. Just really unlucky, dude. It's unlucky. Alrighty, guys. So this is what you do when you have Mental Foes Fusion in your hand. It's not the end of the world because you do need it in the deck to combo. But you have to remember that our first card that we search with Gigant is actually a discard outlet. So it's actually not that bad when you get Fusion in your hand, because then you can just use this to discard it. And now you just need to put it back into your deck, and you're Gucci. Drawing the Called by, pretty nice too, but most likely our opponent's not going to do anything if they haven't done it yet. So, yeah. Now, I want to say something. And what I wanted to say was, the deck is fun, right? You know what? I'm going to give some of my thoughts here. The deck's fun. Really fun. I actually really enjoyed it for part of it. But, man, when you go second with this deck, it just flops, dude. Tokyo's just sitting there. Look at him. Look at that smile. That's the smile your opponent has the entire time when he sees you playing Gadgets. The only unfortunate thing is he has no way of stopping my cards. So that smile is about to turn upside down really, really soon. Because like I said, the end board this deck produces is actually insane. Like, it's a really strong end board. Like what deck? There's not that many decks that produce an end board like this, you know? So, like, think about it. Look at this. Let's look at the end board again. I know you've seen it in the first game, but let's look at the end board again just to, like, clarify everything. Go into Gaga. Gaga, Gaga, Gaga. Then we go into VFD. Delicious. So, not only is my opponent going to be under VFD's effect during the game, right? He's also going to have to deal with not being able to play spells or traps unless he kaijus, right? And we have a monster negate here. And we're going to have 3 monster negates here. And we have a Called by the Grave set. Like, the opponent is just boned, right? Activate this in the draw step. Opponent can't do anything. Our opponent activates Watering Transfers. I don't even negate it. I'm just like, what are you going to do? Play right? Look, he plays Sangan. Isn't that adorable? He plays Sangan. And then he just Called by the Grave with the Sangan. And he tries to cross out my Called by. I was like, Sir Tokyo? You don't know what's happening, do you? Well, you see what this card does is it means you cannot play any cards that are green or purple. Green and purple you cannot play. Tries to play right, and I think this is where it sets in where it's not a once per turn effect, and he just concedes. Alright, let's get into that deck recap. I'm sure you guys want to know. I'm sure you guys are very confused. Like, ooh, what's it going to be? Alright, look here, ladies and gentlemen and little goblins. We're going to go over this deck recap. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be pretty. We had a... I'm gonna mark up this win-loss, though. I'm going to mark it up partly being extremely unlucky with the coin flip. I lost so many coin flips. It was freaking ridiculous. Like, I'm talking about, like, I lost, like, a good 80% of coin flips. And losing the coin flip, not being able to go first, is a massive liability. Like I said, the deck cannot compete going first. It's really tough. It's really hard to beat going first. Like, think about the end boards people make. Unless I interrupt them with some type of hand trap, which, I mean, I have some hand traps in the deck, but, like, people can play... people build their decks and play through the hand traps, you know what I mean? Unless you're me, and then you don't build the deck to play through the hand traps. You're trying to build some wacky shit that looks fun, you know? So, the win-loss ratio was around, like, 38%. Not very good. Which is actually, I think, the lowest percentage I've had out of any deck. But I do want to say, I think part of it's attributed to what I said. This is a going first deck, right? And we barely went first. We went first like 20% of our games. So I think if I got luckier with the coin flipper, I think that 38% probably would have jumped to like 55, but it's still a bit rough. Like I said, you get hand trapped, you're screwed. Also, a lot of sweaty people on ladder. A lot of like lamos using birds, floateries. A lot of lamos using sword soul. Like I said, beginning of the season, you got a lot of sweaty people trying to hit D1 as fast as possible. So that all being said, where do I rate the power level of this deck? Well, honestly, I would still, like, if you're just talking about the end board's like a 9 out of 10, right? I mean, that's a really tough end board to out. The only thing you don't have an out to, like, a way of stopping is the kaijus. So it's still acceptable to kaiju. But I will say, no one's really playing sphere mode, so barely any people play it. So you don't have to worry about that at least. But if we're talking about the deck as a whole, right? Not talking about the end board. We're talking about the deck. The deck, I would say, is a 6.5 out of 10. I want to rate it a 7. I want to rate it a 7.5 because they're little gadgets. But this deck has a massive, massive weakness to it. And like I said, that weakness are the fact these beautiful little gadgets, right? These beautiful little gadgets, you can't do anything about them. Like, you summon a gadget, it gets negated, and then what do? You do nothing. If I had to list it in a tier, obviously I don't even think it's rogue tier. I think it belongs in the trash tier. I'm still gonna play it. Maybe in casual mode, maybe sometimes in ranked. I mean, like I said, it's a fun deck, but it's just not it. It's just not it. Sorry, not sorry. Now to the person who hit Diamond 1 with it. What are you smoking? Dude, the only way this man has hit Diamond 1 with this deck is he got ridiculously unlucky. Because I'm going to be honest, there's very few games I misplayed with the deck. I mean, the deck's very straightforward. Once you know the combos, the deck's extremely straightforward. The only thing I messed up on was one game where I fucking just... when it asked me for the pendulum summon, I accidentally just hit one monster and hit OK. And that was just me just clicking too quick. It was a misclick. But I did not misplay much with the deck. It just, all the games just were unwinnable. So her person who Diamond 1, either that person lied, or that person hit, or that person played a real deck until they hit D2 4 games, like D2 1 game away from D1, and then they swapped to this deck, and they played against someone who had 0 hidden traps, and then they got the winner. Like, I hit Diamond 1 with gadgets. Like, no, you didn't. So I'm gonna say it's a cap. Fact or cap? 100% a cap. No way you hit D1 with this. And if you did, you must have... Another thing I would say, you might have gotten insanely lucky and just played like 20 games in a row where your opponent just had nothing. Like, you went first every game and your opponent had nothing. That's the only plausible solution, because I can't imagine winning 20 games in a row with this deck. Or I can't imagine hitting D1 with this deck. It's just not there. Maybe end of season. I don't know. Maybe it was an end of season push or something. I don't know. Seems unlikely. So would I recommend you guys to build it? Hell no, because like I said, there's a lot of non-staples in here. Fatsoid's just a loser, and he had a lot of these cards anyway from other decks. So I don't recommend you building a deck that has so many cards that are non-staples. Just stick to better decks. That's all I'm going to say. You can watch me play it. That's fun. Or if you want to play it for fun, go for it. But remember, tournament August 13th. Subscribe, follow Twitch, join my Discord. Like I said, join my Discord. All right, bye.